Hi, welcome to College Week Live Open House with Miami Dade College. I'm Kim Tupi. I work at Miami Dade College in Student Services. I'm an advisor here, and I work in the high schools a lot as a pre-college advisor. So throughout the presentation, I just want to make sure that you ask questions at any time. So you should have a text box. So whatever questions come up along the way throughout the presentation, please feel free to ask along the way. So we know that career exploration can be a difficult decision. We ask you to choose a major right away when you begin college. And basically, most universities and colleges, we hand you a list of the programs that we offer and we tell you to choose one. And we know that this can be a hard decision because it's basically deciding what do you want to be for the rest of your life. Um, so today we're going to try to link what that list of majors is to careers. So what careers are out there in the real world and how do those connect to these things that we call majors here at college. So we have some objectives for the day. The first objective is that I want you to, for the next 30 minutes, it's 5:30 and this presentation will end at 6 o'clock. So for the next 30 minutes, I just want you to have an open mind that you can do whatever you want. The asterisk to that is, of course, it needs to be rational and within reason. Um, I don't want to say you can be whatever you want to be. Like I know that I can't be an Olympic athlete, for example. So I want us to be rational and within reason, but at the same time, I want you to be really open-minded and not put limitations on yourself and think about whatever it is that you want to do, you can do it. So put out anybody else's maybe negative thoughts about telling you maybe your friend thinks that you're not smart enough to take the math classes or the chemistry classes that you might need to study a certain career. Maybe a relative has told you that that career wouldn't be right for you because of the way that you are. I want you to take all of those preconceived notions out of your head for the next 30 minutes and just think with a really open mind about what it is that you want to do. The next objective is that I want you to picture yourself in the future. And it might sound kind of funny, but I want you to actually be able to close your eyes and have a vision of where do you see yourself in the future? Who do you see yourself working with? Who are your colleagues? What are they like? Who are your clientele? And when I say clientele, do I mean human beings? Or are you working with animals? Are you working with plants? Um, and where are you working? Are you working in an office? Are you working outside? Are you working in the city where you currently live? So I want you to picture yourself in the future and what would a typical day look like for the place where you ideally want to work. What would that day look like? And the next objective is that I want you to begin to give you some tools to research and to ask questions and to get excited to learn about your career path. Because it's really the best way to get to know if something is right for you. The more and more you research a particular career or a particular major, the more you know about it, you're going to understand better whether or not it's a fit for you and the things that you're naturally good at, the things that you're really interested in, and if that career is what you think it is. Because I know we have a lot of ideas of what a career might be from things we see on television, for an example. But in reality, it might be something quite different. So researching and getting excited to ask questions and connect with people who are out in the real world doing that job is another thing that I want us to think about and start doing today. So why is all of this important? Why start thinking about a career? Why is career exploration so important right now? Because you have something special and it's called your future. You have the rest of your life in front of you. And I think that when we're young, I'm still pretty young, but when I was just graduating from high school, I didn't think really far ahead. I was thinking of college, but you have a different perception of time. So what I want to make sure that everyone understands is that life is really long. So making this decision it's an important decision. So thinking about it carefully from the beginning is very important. You don't want to choose a major or a career just because it sounds cool or because your friends are doing it. You want to make sure that you've really put some thought into this decision that you're making. Um, so why else is this decision important? Um, we know or we found that students who declare a major in college have a higher graduation rate than those who are undecided. So that's important because we don't want you to start college and then drop out. We don't want to lose you. We want you to enter into Miami Dade College and uh, be able to connect with your professors, connect with your advisors, connect with your fellow students in a way that's meaningful so that you feel that it's important that you're here and that what you're studying is related to the rest of your life. So you have that connection, you make that connection. Also, we found that having a goal in mind proves to lead to success. Students are more likely to persevere and not give up. So this means that if you have a goal in mind, like I was saying before, you've kind of visualized what your future looks like. You're more likely to hold on to that goal. So let's say you have a hard class and you feel like you're not going to get a good grade or the grade that you want in that class, rather than giving up and just saying forget it and taking an F or withdrawing from the class, you're more likely to persevere and study harder, stay determined to reach your goals or your short-term goals that you know will ultimately lead you to your long-term goal of becoming that career or that professional that you've seen yourself to be. Utilize your time, think critically about your future. Now is the perfect time for exploration. So this is along the lines of what I've been saying, that now is the best time for self-exploration. I wouldn't say that, oh, I'll pick a major later. I'm just going to write in whatever for now. I'm just on, when I fill out the application for college, I'm just going to fill in a blank because I'm not sure. Or I'm just going to write undecided and then figure it out later. Now is the best time to start figuring that out. So the sooner you start to ask questions to people at the college or people out who are working currently that are in a field that you're interested in, the sooner the better. And we also encourage our new students to create something that we call an individualized education plan. You'll do this with your advisor, and it's a map for which classes you'll take to reach graduation, and this ensures that you will graduate at the time that's right for you. So this map of your classes, of your coursework, is so important because it helps you see semester by semester what classes you'll be taking to reach that endpoint, which is graduation, to move you on to your next step. So if you're a psychology major, you're going to want to understand exactly what classes you need to take as a psychology major and what order they should be taken in. So this plan is really helpful, again, for clarifying your goals and staying on target to reach those goals. So our first objective was to believe that you can do whatever you want. So what is that? What is it that you want to do? So I'm going to ask everybody right now to just take 30 seconds, and you should be in front of a computer. So in your text box where you write questions, write to me, what are the things that you like to do? Just honestly, what are the things that you're interested in? And it can be random things. So the first 5 things that come to your mind, what are the things that you like to do? So go for it. And I'm going to do the same thing. Okay. So I made a list of a few things of just the first things that popped into my mind. I think this is a good way to start to decide, connect these things to what that could mean as far as a major is. So some things that I wrote down were running. I've always been a runner, and I like being outside, and I like working with people. So what could that mean for me as far as a major goes? It could mean a lot of things. It could connect to something athletic. It could running could connect to sports medicine, athletic training, or uh, sports management even. Being outside, that doesn't necessarily mean, that could also connect to something athletic, or it can connect to something to do with the environment. Some other folks have written in and they mentioned things like play music, read books, play the guitar, travel, and do community service. So that's a great list of interests that'll help us dig into what a major could mean for you. The things that pop out at me from that list are travel and community service. So travel right away, that tells me that I want to suggest to you to study abroad. If not study abroad, you can do, I guess it would end up being both, but you could do your internship abroad. If you like learning about different cultures, this is going to be an amazing experience for you. The way that you learn through studying abroad is invaluable. You can't learn the same things when you stay in your own culture, in your own community. So traveling is amazing, and community service is an excellent recommendation for anyone in college, regardless of what the major is. Because by doing community service, you're going to be meeting people out in the community who can one day write you recommendation letters when you're applying for scholarships or when you're applying for jobs. Community service is great because you get to start doing hands-on things. So the information that you're learning in your classes, you get to start connecting to out there in the real world. What that's like. And play music and play the guitar, that's great as well. So does that mean that you should study music, become a music teacher? Possibly. It depends on how great that is of a passion of yours, how great of a part of your life that is. Or does it mean that that's just a hobby that you do that feeds you otherwise, and your academics and your career take you in a different direction? It could mean a lot of things, but I think that this, just writing down a list of the things that interest you and then starting to talk to your teachers, to your professors and your advisors, is a great way for us to start to explore. Um, so a lot of people say that they're undecided. They say, I don't know what I want to be when I grow up. And my response is always, that's fine. I don't either. Congratulations. We kind of have a joke here among advisors at the college that it's okay to be undecided. When new students come in, you're further ahead. If you're an undecided student, you're further ahead than your peers who think that they've chosen a major, because by the time the second term comes, your peers have already changed their major, because changing majors is a popular thing too. So this is, again, why we encourage career exploration from early on so much, because if you do end up changing your major, you could have taken classes that you might not have needed. You could have used up some of your financial aid funds that could have gone towards other classes that you did need. So again, this goes back to why this exploration is so important. So some things to think about. What will the job availability be when I complete my degree? So you want to research a specific career when you've narrowed it down and you are looking at different careers. You want to know that that's a career that's growing, or that it's a field that's growing. You don't want to put a lot of time and effort into pursuing a career that's in a field that's not growing. Um, and now, in the age of technology, a lot of fields are changing. Maybe it's not that some fields are dying out, but a lot of fields are changing. I think of journalism, I guess, that maybe magazines and the newspaper print things aren't going to be as popular, but the news media and electronic media and the way that we receive information about current events is changing. So if you're somebody who likes learning new things all the time, maybe that could be a good field for you if you're always wanting to be in a field that's constantly changing. Also, how long will it take me to complete this degree? We have a lot of students. The most common example of this is a student who comes in and says that they want to study medicine, and they think that they can get a short degree and be working in the health field. When if you really tell me that you want to be a pediatrician, then you've got probably at least 10 years of school ahead of you, at least. And so when we start to go through the steps that it takes to become that name, um, then the students have to really have another conversation with themselves about, is this what I really want to do? Am I really willing to put in this much time? Are these the steps that are really right for me? Does this really match my personality? What does it really mean to be a pediatrician? I just always thought that I liked working with kids and it sounds cool to be a doctor. Well, if those are the only reasons, then we need to dig in a little bit deeper to what it is you really want to do. And if that is what you really want to do you have the dedication and the determination to reach those goals? And of course, what will make me happy? And what am I naturally good at? I think that this one is really important. What am I naturally good at? But at the same time, you don't want to limit yourself, because there's a lot of things that you might think that you're not really good at, but with will and determination, and giving yourself confidence, you can reach those goals. If maybe you can be that thing that you never saw yourself as, you can be that doctor, you can be that nurse, but it's going to take you putting in some extra work. And what do you like, honestly? Like I asked you before, to make a list of, anything, what are the things that you really like to do? So I'm going to share an example of a student whose response was, I like baseball and I like volunteering at the local homeless shelter. So through advisement, we were able to help him in the following way. So we said, okay, let's look at this athletic organization here in the community that's always hosting community events and doing outreach in the community. Let's talk to the people who work there. Let's research social work. The people who ended up running this community athletic organization, they had masters in social work. So if this is a field you would be interested in going into, then we need to research a little bit more. What's the difference between an MSW, Masters in Social Work, and an LCSW, a Licensed Clinical Social Work? And I'm not going to tell you the difference, because that takes away your learning experience as the student who's interested in this field. If this is what you want to pursue, then it's on you to do the research. You need to come back to me as the advisor and tell me what you've learned about the differences in the fields. Talk to Professor so-and-so. So that's an example. Maybe there's a professor on campus who has an MSW, and you can talk to them about the path that they took to get there, and what different career experiences they've had. And connect this to another expert in the community, and start to create yourself a network of people around you who understand the field and can tell you what it's like to work in the field and can give you insight. So think about this. We want you to be thoughtful of your experiences and take note of the things that make you happy. It's kind of along the lines of what I've been saying. And another example of another student who shared their story with us, he was being pressured by his parents because he was really smart and really good at math and science. And so his parents, his family were, you should be a doctor. You should definitely go into medicine. This is what we want for you. And so his major started out as biology, did that thing that I mentioned before, changed his major probably after his second semester, when he was helping his sister with her history homework. And he started to explain to her what was happening in the chapter, what the information was about. And she said, oh, okay, I really get it. When you understand when you explain the information to me, I get it. When my teacher in school tries to tell me, I don't understand it at all. But the way that you talk about this, I really understand it. And for the student, kind of like a light bulb went off in his head, and he was like, oh, wow, this is what I'm really interested in, and this is what I'm really passionate about. This is what I want to study more than this major that other people told me that I should do or that I would be good at. This is what I feel that I'm naturally good at, is talking about history. So he changed his major from biology to political science, ended up double majoring in political science and international relations, and is now graduated with his bachelor's from a local university. After graduating from MDC, transferred to university for that double major, graduated, and has entered the Peace Corps. So that was a nice story to keep in touch with that student to kind of follow his path. Um, Also, explore through class work, make the most of your classes. So again, I think I mentioned before, don't just take a class or take a major because your best friend is doing it. Really look at all of the classes that we offer and take things that sound interesting to you. You might find that by taking a nutrition class, you love learning about how food affects the body and you decide that you want to be a dietitian, whereas before you thought you wanted to do nursing, but you change your mind that way. So that's just one example of making sure that you take advantage of the different classes that we offer. And extracurricular activities, I can't stress this enough. We mentioned volunteering and community service already, but you're going to get out of college what you put into college. So extracurricular activities like joining clubs or committees or forming them if we don't already have them. This is a short list of clubs that are available at Miami Dade College. We have, of course, Student Government Association. Cafe Cultura is an amazing award-winning magazine that we're really proud of. If you write short stories or you um, or poetry, take pictures, you paint, you draw, or make music, it can be a part of this amazing literary magazine. Phi Theta Kappa is an honor society. If you have a high GPA and you want to be in a club, in a society with other students who are very driven and motivated to get to excel academically, that's a great organization to be connected with. It helps a lot with scholarships as well. We have a chess club, we have an anime club, and we also have the YES Club, which stands for Youth for Environmental Sustainability. So if you think that it sounds like fun to go camping on a weekend or to go kayaking with some classmates, that's a great organization to get involved with. So the second objective that I mentioned was to picture yourself in the future. And this is something you can do after the presentation is over. I really want you to take, when you log out of the virtual open house today, take 10 minutes to write a paragraph about what would your ideal workday look like. Or if you're more creative or you're more visual, you can draw a picture of what does your ideal day of work look like. Oops. There it is. The question is, where do you want to work? So I wanted to put some photos because people think, oh, I want to study computer programming because I heard that that computer programmers make a lot of work. But I know that they have to take probably a lot of math, and I'm not very good at math. So this is another way that visualizing that picture of yourself in the future, where you want to be in the future, that end goal is so important because the steps that you might have to take to reach that end goal might not always be fun. Yes, you might have to suffer through a math class that's challenging and difficult and that you lose sleep over because you're studying until 1 in the morning and you wake up at 6 in the morning to keep studying because you need to pass that class. Yeah, you'll go through that, but the end goal and keeping in mind that where the final workplace is and that's what you really want to do, that's going to make it all worth it. So if you think it looks cool to sit on a beanbag and write code all day and make a lot of money doing that, then it's going to be worth the steps that you have to take to get there. And these are kind of office setting and technical type pictures. But I wanted to share some other pictures. These folks, I like their story a lot. The founder, the woman on the top, she is a registered nurse. And after working as a nurse for a few years, 7 years, I believe, she decided that that wasn't the way that she wanted to help people or to keep people healthy, but that she wanted to farm, and she started a business. So she's a registered nurse who became a businesswoman, an entrepreneur who is working with organic fruits and vegetables. and just some other photos, just to get you thinking in a visual way of where it is that you want to work. Personally, the one in the center connects with me. I want to, you can't see his shirt, but it says sports medicine and he's working with children. So that's something that connects with me. If you are wanting to study business, whether it's marketing or finance, maybe that other photo connects with you. So just to start to get you thinking in that way. And finally, our third objective was to do research. So ask questions and get excited to learn about your path. Um, to start researching your interests, these are a couple websites. Take a minute to jot these things down right now. The first one we use a lot, floridachoices.org. It has a great tool, one of those interest profilers. So maybe you've done this before, something similar. It's a survey that's going to ask you a lot of questions about your interests and things that you'd like to do. And based on your responses, when you complete the survey, it will shoot you back a list of careers that might be a match for you. And just giving you a list of careers isn't very helpful. So the website is great because it goes further and it has lots of information about those careers. Are those careers, like we mentioned before, is it a career that's growing, or it's a career that's not really growing? The employment rates aren't very high. Or how much money are you going to make if you choose that career? It also has information about education. What level of education do I need to have to go into that career? The Bureau of Labor Statistics website, bls.gov/OOH, is also another great tool that we use a lot. It has some similar information, whereas the other one is geared towards Florida specifically. Bureau of Labor Statistics has national data of the workforce, careers that are growing or declining, how much money you'll make, the steps you need to take to get there, the skills you need to have to do certain careers. And then, of course, school websites. So when you visit MDC's website, when you're in the virtual open house today, in the booth, you'll see that you can link to two tools that we have on our website. One is called Career Coach. One is called Optimal Resume. Optimal Resume, like it sounds, can help you build your resume. Career Coach is great. It can help you find similar things like I was mentioning, information on wages and employment and job postings, and you can search by keywords. And so just some, when I was looking at it earlier today, some examples where you can type in real estate, you can type in electronics, and it's going to really connect you to actual jobs that exist in the community and connect you to what careers and majors we have that will help you reach those careers. And of course, on our website, you can also see the list of majors and programs that we offer. So this is just my motivational speech slide that I don't even know you. I haven't met you. You're just seeing me virtually. But I know that you're going to do great in college as long as you do the following. As long as the content is speaking to you. So by that I mean as long as the classes that you take are speaking to you, you find them relevant to you and what you're doing, you're gonna do great in college as long as you find that right match for your classes. Also, as long as you persevere. So what does it mean to persevere? It means to, when you face a challenge, that you keep working through it. And some good advice for this is to interview your professors or your advisors. Faculty and other professionals are complex. They're real people and they haven't all taken straight paths. So you don't have to draw a straight line from point A to point B to reach your goals. You might find through talking with people working in the real world that they've taken different paths. So talk and interview, I think, is a great way to learn more about your potential careers. Also, if you can compromise. So kind of this is something like I think I said earlier, yeah, that crappy math class that you have to take is just a piece that you need to get through in order to get to that life that you dream of. And if you can see this, then your grades will increase. And I'm going to go quickly through these slides because I'm going to lose you in less than a minute. But why college? I've told you you can be whatever you want to be, so why do you need a college degree? statistics have shown us that you make more money, you're more likely to be self-employed, you're more likely to have job satisfaction when you have a college degree. The last thing I will wrap up with is to decide on the type of program. Here at Miami Dade College, we have certificates, associate's degrees, and bachelor's degrees. So thank you, and good luck.